Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. If you're new here, my name is Oyinkan and I'm so happy to have you here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So this is episode 2 of a 5-part series called Little Me Got Married, and I'm making this series as a fiance or a new wife's guide to navigating the newness of marriage. This series is for girlfriends, fiancés, or newlyweds who are trying to figure out what's normal, what's comfortable regarding just this new season of life that we are in. I myself have been married for less than 2 years, so this is very new to me, and I'm just talking about some of the things that have come up as new. So if you are in this category or if you just love this channel, then you're definitely going to enjoy and learn from these videos. Like I said in the first episode, the goal of this series is not to dish out marriage advice and tell you exactly how to make your marriage work. No, what I'm hoping to achieve with these videos is to offer peace and hope and some clarity to people who are in this same season of life as me, and to also help you to manage your expectations and hopefully help you to make better decisions through my experiences and the things I've learned so far along the way. Now, a quick recap of episode 1. We talked about uncertainty and anxiety and how those things can kind of come up at the beginning of your journey towards marriage or early in your marriage, and the things that can cause anxiety, and basically how I feel is best to navigate the things that trigger your anxiety. So yeah, you definitely want to watch that. If you haven't watched episode 1, please go back, watch that one first, and then come back and watch episode 2. But for those of us who have watched episode 1, let's get into everything we have to unpack for episode 2. Okay, so this is episode 2, and as you can already see from the thumbnail and the title, we are talking about how having a man in your space can turn your world around, right? Help me. There is a man, a whole man in my space, and I do not know what to do. If you've ever felt like that, or if you already feel like that in anticipation of marriage, then you definitely want to watch this one. Okay, so we'll just talk about like navigating the newness of having a man in your space, and the changes, the frictions, the new things that can emerge from that, right? Let's get into it. Now, for a lot of us women, I think that when we are about to get married, we envision us finding a place with this person that we're going to get married to, and then moving in together into a new house after we have gotten married. In my case, I moved countries to be with my husband, and so it wasn't a case of us going to find a house together and then deciding on the house together and deciding on all the furniture, bringing things in, and living happily ever after. No, it was a case of this guy's already living by himself. He already has his house set up a certain way, his routine set up a certain way, and then I am inserting myself into that space, into that routine, into what is already comfortable for him, right? And yeah, that came with quite some experiences. Now, as with most women, I was coming from a place of being a planner and an organizer, going to put certain things in place and make our routine and what the kitchen, what the room, what everything should look like. I know that I'm not the only one who thinks like this. I know that a lot of ladies already have this in mind, and for some of us, we get lucky enough to be able to have that experience. But honestly, that's not everybody's experience, and that was definitely not my experience. Like I said, I moved in with a guy who already had his house and had things in place, and I just kind of needed to figure out, okay, this works for me, that doesn't work, this is what I'm bringing in, all that. So it was literally the merging of two normals and trying to make one comfortable, ideal space where we are not scratching at each other all the time. Whew, it was work. So my girlies, I know that a lot of us, we look forward to getting married and then coming to that place where we're in charge. We basically want to unleash. Ever since you are wee tiny, people are making jokes. You are my son's wife. Because you can't sing. Basically, people are saying, oh, you should marry my brother, you should marry my son, because of the good things that they see that you can do. Okay. And so you want to take all that good and take it into your husband's house. As you grow older and you maybe tell people that you're getting married soon, everybody has one piece of advice. or another, basically your entire life has been everybody in one way or another preparing you for this thing called marriage and this thing called living physically with another guy in your space, and how you need to serve him and how you need to make sure the house is this way and that way. And it can be overwhelming, especially because we are taught all these things, but we are also taught like the highest degrees of modesty and things. So just like living with a guy and navigating that, always having him in your space, it can be a lot. It can be a lot because on the one hand, you want to, crawl back into your shell. On the other hand, you want to explore and be with this person you love so much. And then again, you want to, just do all the things you've been taught how to do so that you're being a good wife. It's like you're juggling stuff, right? It's like you're juggling the entire time. And just like, wait, when does everything become normal? When do things, feel normal again? If that has been you, or if that's stuff you think about, then I want you to know today that you are not alone. And yeah, there are a few things we need to unpack there, okay? Now, the first thing I want us to take note of before we even start looking at tips and stuff is the man's perspective, okay? Let us never feel like this is just us who's experiencing change. Your guy is also experiencing change. Whether it is the change of preparing himself for marriage, okay, a girl is about to come and start living in my space, and I don't know what that's going to feel like. We're trying to find a house, all that. Like, he's also experiencing and navigating change. And you need to also understand that typically men are raised different from women. So a lot of times men get very quickly used to doing things a certain way, having their own routines, and sometimes doing things in their own time. Like, men are doing things in their own time. 5 and 6. Simply put, men have been raised, differently, with different expectations on them, with different set of responsibilities on them than women are. And so when two lives are being fused together and, your backgrounds are so different, the expectations of family and society on you are so different, then you need to understand that in as much as you want to have a say and have your way in a lot of things as a woman, you need to understand that you're also dealing with a human being who wants a life for themselves and who also wants to have a say in their life. So yeah, I feel like that balance in understanding each other's perspective is the beginning of figuring this out. Is the beginning of like just knowing that both of us are coming into each other's space, and a few things are definitely going to have to change. I'm not going to get 100%. You're not going to get 100%. We're going to have to compromise every now and then. There are days you're going to roll your eyes at me because you don't understand how I'm doing certain things. And that is okay. That is okay. As long as we do not, dwell there and insist that, until things change, then life cannot be normal. And by things changing, I'm not talking about toxic, weird things. I'm talking about just day-to-day things. For example, I remember that when I, got married, there was a lot of stuff around, where we put things and how the room is arranged and things like that between my husband and I. Like, it was just so. This even started from like as far back as when we were dating. I'm just like moving things around and stuff, and he's all adamant like, oh yeah, he's used to finding things in a certain place, and a routine that helps him just know, okay, this is that, this is here and there. And it was just a lot of, okay, but like, what's up? I remember after we got married and just doing other things that like are very personal to you around this person, it just feels a bit like, I don't know. Like, now I have to come to reality that this is no longer boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, our lives are now fused, and so there's only so much I can hide from you. And yeah, it can just be a bit weird. So yeah, let's talk about a few things that you might need to navigate with this new man, somebody's son in your space. Let's talk about that. The first thing is being shy and uncomfortable, right? So like I said earlier, a lot of girls are raised to be very like modest and reserved and stuff. And in as much as you've been dating this person for the longest time, I feel like marriage is like a whole 180-degree turn into, okay, now we are one and we really shouldn't be hiding stuff and all that. And so there's a lot of things that might make you shy. For example, talking on the phone a certain way with your friends, and now you're having those same conversations with your friends, but in front of this person, and you might feel like, "Ugh, I don't know, like, is it okay? I don't know." Like, there's that. There's also, of course, there's also the intimate stuff. Like, now you guys are, having sex and making out and all those things, and you're just like, I don't know, man. Like, this is too much. This is too much to take it all at once. Babe, I understand, and it's okay to feel like that, and it's okay to ease your way into it. Okay, you don't have to feel 1000% comfortable in the first day, in the first week, in the first month. It's okay to gradually ease yourself into it, as long as you're communicating your needs with your partner. Okay, don't be shy to communicate your shyness with your partner. Let them know, okay, yeah, I need a few more weeks to get 1000% comfortable with this particular thing. Can we, circle back to this another time? Let's just ease yourself into it. Okay, don't feel under pressure to be his, everything under the space of the first week of your marriage. Come on, even in the first year, like, there are still things you're going, like, you guys have the rest of your lives to live with each other. You really don't need to figure each other out in the first week and become, poof, my everything in the first week. It's okay to take your time, but then don't be rude. Now, I understand that, okay, sometimes we can be shy, we can be uncomfortable. I mean, a man is barging in when we're dressing up. You don't need to be rude. Like, he's your guy. He's not just some random guy who showed up in your house and you're like, hello stranger. He's your man. You guys are together. You guys have become one. So you don't need to be rude. Like, you can communicate your discomfort with certain things without being rude. Like, don't snap at him for wanting to cuddle you. Don't snap at him because he wants you to wear something, or because he giggled when he heard you say something that he's not used to hearing every single day. I mean, it's okay to just navigate this time with your partner with ease and with care. Now, the second thing that you might have to navigate with this new man in your space is the tussle for control. Like I said before, I know that a lot of us women are used to, trying to be in control of things, especially in terms of when certain things are done, when chores are done. We are supposed to pray every single morning at 6 a.m. Dishes must not stay in the sink more than 2 hours before they are washed. The house must be pink and then the roof must be yellow. This and that. I know, sis. Like, but you need to understand that this is not a power struggle. This is a partnership. Okay. A guy also has a vision for what he wants his house to look like, or what he wants, certain things, where he wants certain things to be kept and things like that. And you also have yours. So you just really need to come together to, agree, be ready to compromise every once in a while. Like, from your dating years, you guys will even know, is this the kind of person that can compromise for me or not? And if you're dating and you're wondering, like, okay, we're about to get married, but there's a lot of control back and forth. Okay, this is what I want, this is what you want, and you guys are not married yet, then I would advise maybe you talk to somebody that you're accountable to, or see a counselor to kind of help you guys navigate that conversation, so that you come together and come to a good conclusion, and you can make the best of this time, of this experience. The third thing I want to talk about that can lead to a lot of friction when you have this man in your space is fights. And this one is a very delicate one, but who is going to talk about it? Me. Okay, so fights are going to be different. Fights are different now if you're already married and you're wondering, okay, wait, what's up? Especially if you have had a long distance relationship. Oh, and now you guys are in the same physical space when you guys are, maybe I shouldn't say fighting. Fighting is a big word, but yeah, you guys are arguing, you guys are disagreeing on things, and you are in the same physical space now, and so it's obvious that, like, I'm irritated with you, don't come near me. They're frowning their face at you, like, even over the phone, like, or when you guys are chatting, you're not seeing the non-verbal cues, so the anger is not as deep sometimes. But now they're in your space and you're seeing that this person has the audacity to roll his eyes at you, or to hiss at you, or to actually just walk away from a conversation with you. Like, how dare you? Whose child are you? I know you want to get all like that, but we both need to calm down. Okay, the new reality that you might be facing is that now you guys have to fight more maturely, fight from a place of love. Remember that nobody is the enemy. You guys are together, and the issue that you are fighting is the enemy. So in as much as you are standing on either side of that issue, the goal is still to come together and reach a resolve. Now, I must apologize if you hear any background noise. It is extremely windy where I am, and it feels like my door is about to come down. But hey, I'm sure we're going to be okay. Now, as I was saying, it's very easy to kind of get all riled up about how, fights now feel very personal and very weird because you guys are in the same physical space. But what I would say is just navigate things slowly, like I said before. One thing that helps a lot is space, right? When you guys argue, it's not every single thing that happens that you have to, sort out immediately. I know a lot of times they'll tell you in counseling or people around tell you, don't go to bed angry. Darling, you're going to stay awake for 1 week. No sleep, not a wink of sleep. Sometimes you can go to bed knowing that, okay, there's something that is like on the ice and we need to address it again tomorrow, but we are going to be okay. Your mindset around how you're fighting is what matters the most. Are you saying, oh no, I'm going to keep malice with you until you apologize the way I want you to apologize, and you promise that this is never, ever, 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 ever going to happen again? Like, you guys are still adjusting to each other. Sometimes they will piss you off, sometimes you will piss them off, and that is 1000% normal. If somebody is always on your good side, you guys have never had a single fight, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm not going to say more than that. But yeah, you guys need to kind of understand how you navigate that. Just understand how you want to address that. Also, another thing that I must say is that there's a difference between silent treatment and space, right? It's okay to, say, okay, let's pull away from an issue for a while. But giving each other the silent treatment, which is something I was guilty of in like my first year. Wow, I've grown a little bit. Still a bit. But yeah, giving each other the silent treatments, not wanting to talk to them at all for days or for hours on end, even though you're in the same place, them offending you, and maybe they didn't catch it because they're human, and you caught it, and then you decide they're just going to keep quiet without telling them, okay, this is what you have done, and I'm not very pleased with you right now, and talking about it. It doesn't help you guys. It pulls you guys further apart. And who doesn't like peace? Me, as a person, I love peace. I enjoy peace. I choose peace as often as I can, even though sometimes, yeah, but I choose peace as often as I can. And I think you should too. So yeah, it's okay to say, okay, let's give each other a little bit of space and come back to this when we are calm, but don't choose the silent treatment. Don't choose the apathy of just living with someone in your space and choosing that this person irritates you. If they were irritating, I don't think you'd have married them. Okay. And another thing that helps also is to have a plan. Like, when we get into arguments, and this is why it's very important to get counseling, like I mentioned in the first episode. So if you're dating, get counseling. If you're married, you guys can want to maybe sit down together and say, okay, let's kind of have a game plan for when we fight. Do we just like let things fester? Do we sweep things under the carpet and just say, oh, I forgive you, and figure it out on our own? Or do we sit down together, talk about it, hash it out, even if it takes 1 hour, until we get to like a good place and stuff? Over time, you find that your fights are, I don't know, but in my case, I can say that like fights are easier to navigate and forgive now, because in as much as like disagreements and stuff still hurt as much as they did like right from the beginning, I just feel like because it's happened over and over again, not like the same thing, but like just because we've kind of experienced each other in different ways and kind of annoyed each other in different ways too. I kind of know, okay, if I speak to him like this, he responds. So whenever he annoys me, this is how I'm going to speak to him. If I need to apologize to him and he's actually really upset about something, this is the best way to apologize to him and let him know that I'm genuinely sorry. So yeah, let me do that. As time goes on, if you're paying attention, I believe that it gets easier. Of course, I know that sometimes life can throw you like blows that you didn't expect, and now you guys have to fight harder or whatever. But I mean, honestly, I don't know a lot about that. I'm young. I'm very young. And like I said, this is not a general how to make your marriage work talk. This is just, okay, we are all just navigating the shallows of this water. How do we get used to it so that we can, go deeper and grow over the years? So yeah, those are my pointers. If you are shy, ease yourself into this new person in your space. Ease yourself into this your new normal. If you guys are in a control or power tussle, learn to communicate and be ready to make certain compromises. And when you guys are fighting in the same physical space, learn to, give each other space, have a game plan for how you want to sort out your issues, and everything is actually going to be all right. Okay. In conclusion, though, I would just like to say that to my sisters out there, look, your guy, you have chosen this guy for a reason, okay? You saw him and you loved him, and you chose that you're going to marry him, or you have married him. And he's not inherently a bad person. He's also a person who is navigating a new season. We are not the only ones who are navigating the newness of marriage. Sometimes we act like men have it figured out, and we are the ones who are just like trying to get it together. They are also people, they may not talk about it as much, but they are also trying to figure out this new life with you. And you guys, we know ourselves, we know that we are not always easy to live with too. So don't think that he has it all perfect and you're the one who's dealing with, him. He's also navigating change. So please give him grace, give each other grace, learn each other. If there's anything that's coming up that you are not at all comfortable with and things need to change ASAP, then get a counselor involved. If it's things you guys can discuss and you know that you and your person can reach an agreement together, then go ahead, have conversations. But all together, focus more on enjoying the newness of this season than on getting comfortable with it. Like, if you focus on, okay, in as much as this thing is weird, it's going to become a funny story I tell my kids later in the future. Let me just enjoy it and see how it plays out. Really, it's not that deep. A lot of the things that we carry on our head, they are really not that deep. Okay, so focus more on enjoying this season, this phase of your life that you have actually looked forward to for the longest time. Like, can we just rest and enjoy instead of being so like agitated and trying to make sure everything is perfect all the time? Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Don't put yourself under any undue pressure. Don't let anybody put any pressure on you. Take it slow, enjoy your life, and everything is going to be all right. And so with that, I have come to the end of the second episode of Little Me Got Married. I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. Please let me know what you think by leaving a comment under this video. If you also want to expand on this conversation or add anything, ask any questions, then by all means, please leave that in the comments and I will love to engage with you. It will also be really nice of you to please hit the like button on this video so that more people can see, because that way YouTube recommends it to more people who need this kind of content and you don't know who you might be helping. So definitely like this video and share it. Also share it with people in your network, people who you think need to hear stuff like this, or people who you just want to see my beautiful face. Share with them as well. And lastly, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe so that you can always know when I post new content, and my content can always show up on your feed as well. Thanks once again for tuning in. Next Wednesday I'm going to be sharing episode 3, and that is going to be really juicy. That's actually going to be something that I know a lot of people have questions about. Even I myself still have a lot of questions about that are unanswered, but at least from the little I know so far, I want to share. So yeah, looking forward to sharing episode 3 with you guys, and I look forward to discussing more with you guys in the comment section. Thank you so much once again for tuning in to watch this. I will catch you guys on the next one. Till then, stay safe, stay blessed, stay beautiful. I love you. Mwah.